And there we are. Welcome, all of the nobody. There might be somebody in the other channels. I'm not sure. There's nobody in this place at the moment, though.
Maybe.
To Coriolis Session 3. I will be your Games Master for this evening. I'm Fishy, and with me today I have got Nightbites.
Good evening.
Playing Farouk. Drutacup.
Hello.
Playing Zeynep. And Mekiador.
Whee!
Playing Shahad. So when we left our intrepid space adventurers,
You bastard.
they
I'm sorry, what?
We're not intrepid space adventurers, we're raving cowards.
well, I was going to at the end of this section get to the point that the last thing that happened was that you were trying to make a decision as to not so much whether to flee back to your ship and depart the station, as which route to take. So, yes, the story so far. The crew of the Nazalis has been hired to investigate a disappeared ship. They headed to the coordinates that they were given, and they found initially not the ship, but instead a space station, though they later identified that the ship was docked with it. They've also identified that the station is covered in some sort of biomass, which, when they came on board, not by docking the Nazalis with it because they were worried about what it might do to them, but instead by spacewalking over to an airlock, they discovered that this biomass was some sort of plant growth, which extends throughout the station and onto its outside. Further investigation has led them to a laboratory section on board the space station. And there they found a couple of interesting things. One, they found a terminal from which Shahad was able to locate quite a lot of data about the... Now I have cat hair in my mouth because this little sod won't go away.
He loves you.
Managed to copy quite a lot of data about whatever it is that this station was doing, although he didn't understand a word of it, because, to quote Mekiador, I don't speak scientist. And secondly, they found some sort of humanoid life lurking inside the plant life, inside the vines and lianas hanging from the ceiling. Whether this is a plant grown to resemble a human grown to resemble a plant, some kind of hybrid, or what, you've been unable to ascertain because you've never had a clear enough look at it. But nevertheless, Farouk has managed to make himself a flamethrower now.
Yeah.
I got the fire.
Zeynep has recovered just about from her little flip out where she went kind of catatonic for a bit.
I also did go and rescue Zeynep.
Yes. Oh, on the grounds that she is the one who can speak scientist.
Yes. That wasn't the grounds that I went to go and rescue her, but...
Well, no. It's a happy coincidence, to be honest.
Yes. Serendipitous
And
occurrence.
Yes.
the last thing that happened was that one of the terminals, the one that Meki was hacking, and there are actually other terminals in this room, but you haven't found them. I shouldn't have said one of, because you've only seen one of them as yet. The rest are in amongst the vines, other workstations.
Oh, good.
The terminal that Shahad had been hacking lit up all by itself, despite the fact that power to most of the station is turned off, and displayed a creepy message.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, it was the prophetic thing, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
Which was only half the quote. The other half was,
That's
be
right.
careful not to get the wrong one because it'll screw everything up if you do.
Pretty much, yeah. Paraphrasing, that's
Yeah.
about right.
To be honest,
Fortunately,
given my memory, I'm lucky I got the necklace.
Zeynep was able to remember the quote, identify where it came from, and provide the second half.
Yes, which made everyone feel so much better.
Yeah.
So, based on this, you have essentially ascertained that the station you are on is an
Evil place.
Yeah,
What he
is
said.
an old Daburani station, dating back to the era of the Portal Wars, which was sent out by the Sultan of... I can't remember
Swing.
now. No, not the Sultan of Swing. That was definitely not it.
Notes. Deduced information. Right.
Sultan's are singing from the
Emirate
Union.
of Old
That's
Gehenna.
it. Was the Emir of Gehenna to seek the flowers of heaven, as referenced by this quote.
Yes.
It has been missing for over 100 years, really. Summarising, rounding it. It's been missing for 100 years, and clearly something has gone wrong.
I hope something's gone wrong. Otherwise, they've got some really weird goals.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know.
It's possible. It is possible. For all we know, this is the crew evolved into plants.
You also did manage to find, previously to that, you found a message on the system from a representative of the Emir. From, in fact, the Honourable Royal Minister for Agricultural Affairs to the Chief Scientist, Wahina Adala, which pretty much, when added to that information that you've got elsewhere, confirms your theory, because that the Emir is not pleased with the efforts of your team. He asks you to remember that this is a holy mission ordained by the Icons themselves, and that the Emir expects some real results soon. The future of the people of the Emirate is at stake. If you fail, history will not be kind.
Yes, it was the degree of which the
History
religious
has
end.
not been kind, because you are aware that the Emirate of Gehenna was in fact effectively wiped out by natural causes. The area where Gehenna stood is in one of Daburan's desert areas, and efforts 100 years ago by the Emir to prevent the Emirate from effectively turning into a desert failed, and everybody either died or left.
Right.
So this station no longer has a home.
Good. Maybe we can adopt it. Farm it out for parties.
You're going to need a lot of DDT to do that, I feel.
Yeah, it's not even like we can vape it by sending it out opening it up to vacuum, because let's face it, it's on the outside as well.
Yes,
Yeah,
you've already established that this plant can survive vacuum.
Yeah, that's cheating, frankly.
But I tried to wear a spacesuit with somebody inside still.
Yeah.
That doesn't help.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's the. I mean, I'm hoping the whole religious element to the mission was basically a save our nation gig. I'm a bit concerned if somebody else was drafting in the icons over and above a simple invocation.
Well, this is a very religious setting. You
It
should
is, yeah.
expect references to the icons all over the place.
Oh yeah, no, I have no problem.
And they were seemingly seeking, the flower of heaven.
Yeah.
So it kind of was a religious scientific mission.
Do I have
Contradictory
any?
though that sounds.
Do I have any historical knowledge referring to this flower of heaven thing? I'm trying to focus very hard on work rather than on the humanoid plant that drove me round the twist.
All you really know is what you've already had, which is that there are references in the writings of Suleiman the Elder.
Yeah.
And that it's part of a poem.
It's
So.
this message that you've already had. And the messenger spoke, "Go forth and find the seed of the icons, the flower of heaven. With it you shall bring prosperity to your dying world and save the people from starvation and poverty. But beware, good pilgrim, there are specimens that have been tainted by the dark between the stars. These dark flowers bring not prosperity, but misery and death.
Oh yes.
And I'm
was
sure
it.
that's not what you've got here. I mean, it couldn't possibly be.
Uh-huh. You're sure? It's good to know. We're not.
What could go wrong?
What indeed?
Who's got notepad? Make him a list.
That's gotta be a long list.
There's a couple of things that we could tick off already, thanks. Okay. Right, we need to power this station up if we're going to make use of it. But were we going to retreat and get the engineer from our ship?
Well,
No one on the ship, no one that's left on the ship, as far as I'm concerned, needs to come on here.
the suggestion at the end of the last session was less retreat to the ship and find the engineer as retreat to the ship and get the hell out of Dodge.
Don't forget you already have like 2 mental instabilities, or 1.
Well, one acquired, and one guy just built a flamethrower from scratch.
I've got -1 mind. It's fine.
Yeah, you've still got 7.
I've lost a mind point.
Good
It's all
mind
good.
points to begin with.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've lost a
In
mind
fact,
point
yes,
as well.
you have indeed. Everybody's lost a mind point,
Yes.
Mhm.
but at different
I have.
times.
Yes.
The other 2 of you lost a mind point when the terminal lit up with that quote,
Message, yeah.
whereas
That shouldn't happen.
Zainab lost her mind point previously to that.
Yes. Frankly, by that point, that's not the most scary thing that had happened to her that day. In the last 10 minutes.
So to summarise, you have found the station, you have found the ship you were looking for, you have not yet found any of the crew. You haven't
we
actually
haven't.
investigated the ship itself, because you came on board the station and instead of cutting straight across to the other airlock and looking at the ship, you decided that you would check out the laboratory because it seemed like it might give you some clue what on earth was going on. When you got there, you did see some sort of humanoid life in amongst the plant, and you got that message. So that's pretty much where you are and what you've got. Your job was to recover, essentially, information about what the ship is worth 10. Where the ship, what happened to the ship, is worth 10,000 beer to you. Double that if you can return either the ship or Professor Siav Dahijaba, who is the project lead on the expedition.
I'm starting to think that I think we probably ought to make a push for the ship itself. Leave the weird ship plants to the weird ship plants. And see if we can at least pull the equivalent of the black box from the ship.
From the one that's docked.
From the one that's docked. Even if we can't pull the ship, rescue the ship itself, we should be able to find out what happened to it and what happened on board it that led to them parking next to this greenhouse.
Since we do kind of have floor plans, what's the most straightforward way there?
Okay, initially, back the way you came, you may recall that you took a couple of turns in the corridors to reach this point. So going back out of here towards the last junction and turning now left will take you straight to the equivalent corridor on the far side of the station to the one that you came in. So corridor running along sort of the edge of the station, which will have the airlock access. The ship is not docked to the equivalent of the airlock you came in through, but is close by, so you can just carry on past a bit further and reach the ship.
Okay. I think by rights, I think we owe us our bank accounts, and I think we owe the crew of the ship and a chance to find an explanation for what happened to them.
10,000 beer isn't enough to consider leaving the plant. or plants have an intelligence?
They do. I also have samples of them. So, frankly,
That really sounds like a bad idea leaving here with.
Well, maybe.
If
They are
you start
sealed.
quoting Bioweapons Division, I'm going to leave you and your corpse here.
I would never quote Bioweapons Division. I was thinking pets.
Same thing applies.
Maybe you can smuggle a sample of the plant home inside one of your crewmates.
Here, take this little capsule. It's fine.
Yes, it's spirulina, really.
Yes, suddenly you get into smoothies on the way back. Frankly, sentient alien plant would be preferable to kale. Okay.
Yes, and just to remind you, I currently have 3 darkness points. And to remind me, I currently have 3 darkness points.
Oh,
That's less than I thought you had. I'm actually feeling quite comfortable.
spent
with that.
some at the end of the last session.
he twatted me with some.
Yes.
Yes, I was spending them on doing bad things, mainly to Drat.
Yeah, I feel so loved and valued in this group now. Oh wait, no, I really don't.
Sure you do. You're an illustrious leader. Go lead.
Lead from the front. About maybe 3 meters in front.
Thanks. Okay, so let's try and get to the ship and see if we can pull their data. I mean, if we can salvage their vessel, then yay. But at the moment, I'd rather not take it away if it's potentially contaminated.
From
But
what
we
you
can
saw
at
from
least
the
find out what's
outside,
there.
the plant appears to have grown over at least part of the Shamsa.
Yeah. I think we're going to be purely taking the data from the Shamsa,
Assuming we can get to it.
assuming we can
And
get
then
to it.
get back.
You're just a little ray of sunshine, really, aren't you?
Just assessing the situation and giving you realistic options.
Yeah. No, I do appreciate that. Realistic options as opposed to mythical plants.
There's nothing mythical about the plant that's here.
The plant that's here and the mythological origin of what it may or may not be. It does make me wonder where they got it originally.
When you
While
hear
they're
these beats, tell me, do you think horse or do you think unicorn?
Oh, I think Pegasi.
We're doomed.
Pegasi are probably a kind of genie.
Possible.
Clearly a Pegasus out for exercise, because otherwise he'd be flying.
in a spacesuit.
Yeah, maybe so. Well, there's an image.
So, we've established that Pegasi in space have to walk because there's no atmosphere for their wings to function.
Yep.
Vital
Also-
stuff that is going to help you get home alive.
Also, if I recall correctly, one of the 1001 nights involved a mechanical horse. A mechanical flying horse with wings. So,
It's possible. I wouldn't like to say for certain.
Having not read all 1001
I've been-
stories, no.
Yeah, I've been going through the Tales of the Arabian Nights on and off since we started playing Coriolis, but so far every single story involves a prince, a genie, and a princess. Every single story.
Chances
be
are this one does as well.
to
With
be
the addition
fair,
of a mechanical flying horse.
yeah, to be fair,
Like
she
all
was
those lifestyle
pushed.
magazines.
Yeah, to be fair, she was improving stories as she went in order to avoid death. So, you
I'd
know,
like to worry you, Benrika, but no, you didn't. You might have just finished GMing a Call of Cthulhu.
fair enough.
or keepering one, technically, I suppose.
Yep.
Since keeper is the
Oh,
term
good
for
lord.
it,
How you
but-
doing, Benrika? Good to see you, my friend. So, yeah, we are playing Coriolis today,
Yes.
which is a sci-fi Arabian Nights mashup.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Fish can give you far more detail on the setting and the background. But basically, we're on a space station with an alien plant infestation that appears to be somewhat sentient. It's given Zeynep a complete Wiggins, so I've gone and built a flamethrower just to be sure, purely because we didn't have any Agent Orange anywhere.
Yes. We could definitely do with some glyphosate at this stage.
Yeah.
Just spray the entire lot. And we're still in our spacesuits because we're paranoid.
Yes.
Because you refuse point blank
All the better.
To breathe the air on this thing.
You know, can't think why.
Ow.
So, as you leave the lab and head in the direction that you know will take you to the airlock and the Shamsa,
Yeah.
the vines in the corridor appear to be quiescent again. You're once again walking rather gingerly through vines that are not moving.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not that they've moved out of the way. We're not foot on deck, we're foot on vines.
You are foot on vines at the moment, yes. Why they seem to move at some times and not at others, you have yet to figure out. But I don't know if I'm thinking about it that closely.
No, I am very much thinking about it quite closely. And I can't decide whether it's different plants or whether the same plant is napping or whether it's deciding whether or not it wants to play with us.
Oh, napping plant sounds cute.
Yeah.
That's a good thought.
Cute wasn't what I was going for. Scary was what I was going for.
Yes,
Napping
it
to
is very
conserve its
scary.
energy. This comes off as a slightly stroppy toddler. Every now and then it needs a nap time.
Yes.
No, I'm wondering if some of these are corrupted. Is that some of the plants that have taken over this station are indeed the corrupted ones and some of them aren't. But if so, which is which? I'd hope the one that drove me around the twist is of the corrupted type, because otherwise that's just rude.
So would you then be wondering if perhaps an uncorrupted one was the humanoid one that was peeking through the vines?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Because that didn't make any overt action.
It
No.
did, but then nothing has actually made any overt threatening
aside-
action to you, really.
Aside from grabbing
My ankle.
Shihad and looping itself around the trolley table that Zeynep was using, and
But it's growing around everything, so maybe you just stood still too long.
10 seconds or thereabouts. That's a very fast growing.
It grabbed me while I was walking.
Now that's extremely
Okay,
fast.
that one I can't really argue with. So
Yeah.
it takes you a few minutes to get into the external corridor on that side of the station where you're headed.
Mhm.
And as you turn into it and you'll get into what you know is the final stretch towards the airlocks,
This is not going to go well, is it?
you
Such an optimist. Such a
find
brave
yourself
creature.
with the small problem that while you know this is the right corridor, you can't see that this is the right corridor. Because more so than anywhere you have visited yet except the lab, it is covered in plant growth. Again, as in the lab, you have got the lianas hanging down from the ceiling, creating what may be just a curtain, you hope, across the corridor in front of you,
Nope.
but might just as easily be, to all intents and purposes, a jungle filling the corridor as you head towards the ship.
But it's not doing the all stiff thing and holding us back.
And no, it's not doing anything unusual apart from being there.
It's not supposed to be there in first place.
That's why it's not doing anything unusual apart from actually being there.
Farouk, your flamethrower.
Yes. Has a
How-
limited supply.
Yes.
Let's not go using it to get somewhere when we couldn't use it then to get back out.
True.
It's nothing more than an insurance policy.
Mm.
You could be in trouble. These plants might count as a pre-existing condition. They have been here longer than you have.
Not here, they haven't.
Yeah, they have. That's why we're standing on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the hanging bits.
Oh,
Well, you don't know because you haven't been in this corridor before.
Oh, okay, fair
So,
enough.
This is
yes,
the
they have-
equivalent corridor to the one you came
Yes,
into,
good
but on
point.
the other
Moving around
side
to
of the
Shamsa.
station.
I suppose we could push them aside.
we could ask.
I mean, 2 of the 3 of you have walked through these kind of growths before, and without too much trouble.
I wonder if I could use one of the lianas to tie up a bunch
the
of the
rest?
others. Like a curtain tie back.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, but
Decided
that's a
to make
long
friends
corridor.
with-
You're gonna make a lot of braids.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was going to say she's decided to make friends with the plant and braid its hair for it.
Why not?
Yeah.
It's not the most lunatic thing that's happened today.
Go on,
Isn't
give it
the
a
most
try.
lunatic
Try
thing.
first bundle of lianas to bond the chick
Yeah.
together.
I can plait lianas. How many are we talking? We're talking hundreds, thousands, dozens.
At
How
least
thick are they?
dozens, but you can't
Right.
really see from here. Thickness, they vary from maybe a centimetre up to 4 or 5 centimetres.
Oh, doddle then. I plaited rope. It's all good.
I mean, they
Doesn't have to
they
be
block
tight.
more area than that because
Yeah.
there are leaves growing off them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which obviously block your view. But
Well,
the
whatever you're
core of
going to
them are
do,
relatively
Zaynab,
thin.
give the plant warning you're going to do it. We know that it has a level of intelligence to it.
I'm not going to hurt it. I'm just going to get it out of our way without hurting it. Okay? And
Make
that's
sure
car. Yeah.
you emphasize that and calmly talk the plant through whatever it is you're doing. I don't want you to hurt their feelings.
I don't even talk to my pet cactus.
You might want to change that when we leave here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's moving away from my bed.
Oh, the fun I will have to listen to these things back when we are home. Yes, we're still recording.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
you tell us. Thank you.
Right. Okay. I am going to approach the right-hand side, right-hand wall. I'm going to approach along there.
My God, he's quoting me.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, that just needed to be quoted.
Yes.
Is that right up there with threatening it with with an
The
oxygen
flame
canister?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to, on the right-hand wall, I am going to walk up to the plant.
So that's the interior wall.
Yeah. Should be the one that we're following round, basically, more closely.
Yeah, you are basically.
Yeah.
Because you turned left, so you're
Yeah.
going on that corridor, and then right down around this side of the
Yeah.
station. So yeah, to the left, there might be small cupboards and things based on the previous one. Far enough back, there are complete rooms, and then the space gets narrower because it gets closer to the outer skin of the station
Yeah.
until you're down to just cupboards and then the airlock.
Okay. So yes, basically on the wall, I am walking up and I can't believe I am doing this. I just want to get you out of the way. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just moving you aside so that there's no misunderstanding and I can...
Make her lose a mind point for talking to plants.
Talking to a plant. No, if I think
I
they
don't think
reply...
you lose mind points for talking to plants. I think
But
you talk to
sanity?
plants for losing mind points.
Yeah.
So if you lose mind points for talking to plants, then intimidating it with an O2 canister is probably going to lose me a few. And let's not go down that road.
Okay.
So you can gather a bundle of these hanging growths into your hands and begin sort of...
I'm going to twist them against each other.
I was going to say, are you going to braid them together, or are you going to use one to tie back the others, or some combination of the two things?
2 handfuls, and I'm going to twist them and then twist them.
Okay.
So basically it's a loose rope.
There is no reaction as you grasp your 2 handfuls of plant.
That's a relief.
However,
Oh dear.
as you start
It was going
braiding
too
them,
well. Yes.
you can feel a slight shudder run through them that has nothing to do with your actions. It's very slight, but based on what's happened already, you were watching for it.
Don't be so silly. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm trying to take the attitude of speaking to a recalcitrant child who's having its hair cut. When I've done enough that it will hang together, I will secure off the bottom by tying off with one of the narrower, the 1 centimetre jobs, and actually tie that round. They should be more flexible.
Zainab, if we keep doing this, we're gonna be here for the next year. We
Yeah.
need to find a quicker way.
Beyond the ones that you are tying up, this section of overgrowth does continue down.
There is nothing but darkness beyond this point, and it's made out of wines.
Yes.
You've got maybe 10 meters to reach the personal airlock that's the equivalent of the one you came into.
Yeah.
And then the ship airlock is a little further on beyond that.
Do we have cable?
No, he's with X-Force. No, you don't have any cable, unless one of you has some listed on your equipment list, which I don't believe any of you do.
I didn't.
You haven't really got your equipment list sorted out.
Just the ones I need for the computer equipment to plug in. I don't want to use those cables right now because I need them later for,
I was just wondering, what happened to the rope that we used to get across the gap initially? Is that in the...
That's still outside.
That's still attached to our ship.
We need to get back somehow.
Because what you had is one of your NPC crew members withdrew that after you detached it from the airlock when you got in. The idea being that it would be sent back across.
Yeah, we basically zip-lined across on a bucky cable from our ship.
Yeah.
But you didn't want any permanent connection or temporary even connection to the station, so the cable was withdrawn afterwards. Zebo was responsible for doing that.
You see, what I'm awfully tempted to do now involves pulling one of those vines down. And that would really piss it off.
Yes, that would.
The dog does not sound happy.
That wasn't my...
That's me.
Oh, right. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, no problem. I'll just tell. Just whimpering like a puppy.
Rough.
The Shamsa, as a fairly recent space vessel, will have a number of communication points for access that have a fair range on them, correct?
Yeah.
You have our long-range radio, correct? Can you hack their systems from here and download anything?
Oh, well, they're newer, so I could try. Well, yes. Zainab, you keep braiding, I try stuff.
You try stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so this will depend on whether the Shamsa is actually receiving, won't it? There's got to be an open.
There's got to be an open channel to go through.
Yeah.
To be able to do this.
I have a reasonable tech skill, so I will see if I can assist. Having made the suggestion, I'll see if I can assist Shahad in the
Oh god,
process.
he's rolling dice.
Yeah.
I saw the shadow dice creeping up on me.
Those shadow dice are perfect for horror GMs.
Yes.
You
Oh,
just-
you rolled something. What was it?
Just
What have
players
I missed?
being
Let's see
able
if
to
I can think
see
of.
dice drifting through there. That's just
Yes,
great.
I look forward to getting my own copy of Fantasy Grounds with the
Yes,
COC.
and Call of Cthulhu 6th edition.
Yeah.
That should be interesting.
Yes.
So, despite all of the odds being against it, you actually do get a ping back from what you assume to be communications equipment on the Shanza.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, I got a pen.
Brilliant.
So,
Do your data magic, O Jin of the Wires.
at this
Get
point,
us the information we need so we can leave this place.
Well, yeah.
this
While
is
they're doing
going to be
that,
a
I'm
data
going to carry
gem
on.
roll. Meanwhile, you're still braiding plants.
I am still braiding plants, yeah.
There is 1 6 out of so
And-
many dice.
Oh my god.
Again, if there's anything I can do to assist in the data ginning, I will. But I think once he's sort of in and doing the magic, there's a limit to what I can do.
Yeah.
But I do have a data gin of 2 if that helps.
Okay. I'm trying to remember. Did we discover there was or there wasn't?
I think there is, isn't there?
For this. And
I
why did I
honestly
not
can't
turn
remember.
my light on before we started this?
Yes. I think I just heard a Pippin meowing.
Yeah. The
Wouldn't surprise me.
second
There's a
time,
lot of Pippin I can see.
yeah,
Yeah.
we saw the head in shot a moment ago, and the tail's now flicking around in the
Yeah.
back like some sort of Cthulhuid tentacle,
It's the greedy little sod wants to be fed again.
or possibly an animated vine.
Yes, he is actually cosplaying as a vine. I say we just get him, I don't know, spray
Well,
paint him.
he is a black
luminous
cat.
green.
Maybe he's the darkness between the stars.
That would explain a lot.
Group roles. It says for NPCs, but I'll look it up anyway.
And there's a creepy doll. Yeah, I don't know why I'm still braiding these vines. I think I'm now in the I can't do anything with the tech, and I just want to keep my hands busy at this stage.
And possibly your mind busy as well.
It's not wrong.
Unless you
Also,
have to think about.
if you start screaming, we know something goes to hell.
So, Zainab starts screaming. Do we pick her up and leave, or do we just leave?
Memo: take the keys to the ship next time.
Yeah, because no other bugger can fly it. Good on you.
Oh, I can't fly it.
Like, if I die,
okay.
not scripters, I'm the pilot.
You are. I can't fly.
The help from others rule is very simple.
Hmm.
If you've got at least a level of 1 in a skill, you can assist somebody in their use of that skill. For each person assisting, they get a +1 to their skill, up to a maximum of +3. So 1 extra die. I'm going to make this a little bit more cooperative though. I'm going to let you roll the extra die, Nightlights, because this is the one that's coming off your skill. So I just think I like the idea of
Pressure.
if 2 people are working together, them both rolling dice rather than just one of them.
Yep.
This is all D10s, isn't it?
D6s.
D6s. I'm
And
glad
you're
you said
looking
that.
for a
'Cause-
6. Only a 6 counts.
Oh, God.
6, 6, 6, 6. That's where he gets a 5.
I'm rolling first, am I?
Meki has already rolled.
Oh,
so
I missed
we're
that,
rolling
okay.
to see if you can get him enough.
Oh my god.
He really did a 5.
Oh. Sorry.
It paused on the 6, and then...
Sorry, it was the and this is where he gets a 5. Oh, look!
We should leave the
paused
witch
on the
here.
6, and you finished your sentence and it rolled over, so...
Yeah,
Thank you.
sorry. I was hoping for 6. I should
So was
stop saying
Apologise for the fact that I am just being distracted here for a moment, but this pain in the arse cat is actually sitting in my dice tray. So
You can't move your Oh, okay, he's photographing him. Fair enough.
yeah,
Ah, cats sitting in small boxes, huh?
There's one for
yeah,
Instagram.
fancy that. Unfortunately, I didn't turn.
Noble people can't walk on Lego, but cats can sit on dice.
Yep. Cats will sit on anything.
That is true.
Anything except cat beds,
Yeah,
which they will
focus again with
completely
the
ignore.
flash turned on.
There we go. It's like the way we can see him.
Right.
Hey, yeah.
Anyway, sorry about that. I just got distracted by this little git.
He's not little. Did you just drop him?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. It's a cat.
Okay, so your one success, that's a limited success. So you are able to establish a data connection, but you've only got as far as essentially a login screen on the Shamsa. And the workaround you attempted to use to bypass that login screen didn't work. You can try again if you want, but it's going to take you some time. Your initial quick fix didn't work. If you want to dedicate, let's say, an hour to trying to get into it, you can have another roll.
Don't look so dumb braiding the vines now, do I?
I will let you roll sooner than that if you want to try and use a somewhat more quick and dirty attempt, but that will impose a penalty.
Will you give me a darkness point?
That was one of the more creepy things I've heard this week. Thank you.
But bear in mind that if you roll with a penalty and fail, you can always have another go, a re-roll by giving me a darkness point to spend.
Okay, first off, I'm gonna inform my fellow crew members that things look tougher than they are because it's new tech and they did something right, so that intruders are not meant to intrude quickly. So it might take me a couple of minutes more than hoped for.
You're the anti-Scotty. It might take me a couple of minutes.
A couple of minutes.
Yeah.
What? Fishy, I want a quick check on my readout for the amount of oxygen we have left. How long have we got left?
Do I die while coding?
You did find some spare oxygen.
Yeah,
So
not counting those. How much have we got native in our tanks?
Not counting those, you have got about 2 hours left.
Right. So we're not
feasibly,
panicked yet.
We can get out of here in an hour. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because we spent a bunch of time in the lab that we obviously didn't need to spend.
Yeah.
So here back to the ship isn't a problem. So we've got a little bit of leeway at the moment. Plus, I do have two oxygen canisters. I can give us a little bit of a top up. That'll buy us maybe an hour or so extra. Going through those vines, we might not come back. If we can stay here and hack, we've got a chance.
Fair enough. You carry on with the hacking. I will carry on attempting to clear a path, and we'll see.
Who gets there first?
It won't waste my time anyway.
Okay.
I'm going to take a page out of Farouk's book and really mess with myself. You know, if you moved aside, this would all be far more pleasant for us all. It's your own vine you're wasting.
Ouch. I think I deserve a darkness point for that.
I think you had luck.
Okay, so the two of you get back to trying to hack into the Shamsa, while Zainab continues working on braiding up these vines.
You haven't got any ribbon, have you?
Aww. I try to remember that next time we come around.
I'm trying to embarrass these vines into voluntarily moving aside, basically.
You've been doing this for about 10 minutes. When, Zainab, you hear a quiet click from behind you.
What?
And suddenly something grabs you around the throat, and something cold and metallic is pressed up against your right cheek.
How is she able to feel that because she has a helmet on?
Okay, yeah. it's not pressed up against her cheek. She's still wearing her
Tang.
helmet. You're absolutely
Okay, it didn't
Tang.
rip off her.
Something metallic tings onto the side of your helmet.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm
And-
right up against the right wall, aren't I?
You are right up against the right wall. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm looking at my screen.
And
I'm
the
focused
two of
there.
you
So does
on
Nightbite see something?
Are you
he's
saying
on
it's
the
against-
screen as
is it
well, 'cause
against
he's
the
helping
left?
you.
Hang on,
Against
I'm
the
up
right
against the
tip
right
top,
wall.
yes,
Is it on
yes.
the right hand side of my
Yes, it
helmet?
is.
Now you're just taking the piss.
The first that you two on the terminal know that there is anything amiss. Unless you to pay attention to the phrase, now you're just taking the piss.
That might get my attention, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it's said with genuine anger. She's
Well, in
not
that case,
telling
that probably will get
What
your
did we-
attention.
What
then.
did we do next?
So you will look up in time to hear a harsh female voice saying, "Who are you people?" And you can see that somebody has got Zainab in a headlock, essentially. One arm is around her neck, and a large weapon is pressed up against the side of her helmet.
I will stress I haven't struggled. It was purely vocal.
So she didn't scream, I do not look up.
I didn't.
When
I
you
didn't
say
know.
a person, is it an actual person or is it a plantoid person?
Can't see that clearly because there is plant between you and it. Although it's been braided up, so it's not as obscuring as it would have been. There is still not a great view. And the other thing is that this person appears to be half in the wall. From where you are, Zainab, you can sort of, with what minimal movement you have available,
Yeah.
you can just about see out of the corner of your eye what appears to be some sort of maybe a cupboard space or something that has opened behind you. So whoever this is standing half inside that space still and has grabbed you as you're immediately outside.
Okay.
And hang on, my sound's going funky again.
Oh, it's not from here, but okay.
Seems okay from here.
It's better.
Right. I am, without moving, going to. What was the name of the professor we were supposed to be looking for?
Sorry, I missed that. What was the
Name of the professor we were supposed to be looking for?
The professor is in. If you look on
I'm in notes. Where
if
am I
you look in
looking?
story, you will find there's an item called The Job, which will tell you that it is Professor Siab Dahul-Jabba.
That was it. I was looking down the wrong list. It's okay. Dahujaba being the family name, yeah?
Yes.
Right,
At least
okay.
That's what I'm assuming.
Okay. My name is Zainab Farouk. I'm here looking for Professor Dahul-Jabba. Is that you?
The professor is dead. Everybody's dead. There
Well,
is
you're
an
not.
evil on this station.
Figured
Killed
that.
my crewmates.
Right. So you're one of the crew of the Shamsa, yes?
Yes.
Then we can get you out of here. Come with us if you want to live.
You've been waiting to say that.
No,
We have
no,
a ship.
no.
We are leaving.
That's not how this is going to work.
Why not?
Why did I not take
This-
combat skills?
This evil must be destroyed.
And it can
You are going to help me.
be. No.
I have a question. How do we
You
hear
are
this
going to
person?
help us.
Vibration through the helmet.
Yep, but the other two are not connected.
No, but although you are inside your
There is air.
There is air.
vaccines, there is air out here.
So it does sound
So
slightly
it's
like everybody's
muffled,
talking
yeah.
like this.
It is muffled because it's the air. The vibration of the air is vibrating the glass of your spacesuit helmet, which in turn provides sound for you to hear. But it does sound muffled, yes.
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking. You want us to get to engineering to blow this place up, and us with it. That's not how this is going down. How this is going down is you and us are leaving, and we are going to get the military here to blow this to Kingdom Come. We
No.
will send
Wait.
this place back to the gods.
Way to not
No,
scare the
that
plants.
is not happening.
Well, it's not if you don't let us, but it's the only way to stop any evil leaving this place.
Nothing's leaving this place that has chlorophyll as a biological base. You hear me? I've had it today. I have, honest to God, had it. I've been throttled by plants. I've been gaslighted by plants. I am not a happy bunny, and I had to rely on she had to talk me back down. Basically, this person has just got on my very last nerve. And the whole gun to my head thing is kind of a minor consideration right now.
Fishy, just as a reminder to me, we don't have any weapons on our ship, do we?
You do. You have a weapon. It has a... What does it have? It has an accelerator cannon.
That's basically
Okay.
a railgun, right?
Basically,
Yeah.
a
Like a
railgun.
spaceship variant of my pistol.
Mm.
Yeah.
Excellent. We can mess with that.
About non-critical
You need
electronics.
some really lucky shots with an accelerator cannon to take out a station like this.
That depends on what's being fired from the accelerator cannon.
Oh god. He's starting to get ingenious. We're in trouble now.
Does this thing run on... What actually provides the fuel cells for the technology in this setting? Are we talking Magitech? Are we talking strange glowing crystals? Are we talking matter-antimatter?
It's mostly fusion power.
Okay, strange glowing shit then.
Mildly radioactive, strange glowing shit, yeah.
They can be set to explode. It's
That's an
nuclear.
interesting
You can
question.
make it go boom.
Okay. Would you mind coming out of the cupboard so we can have a conversation? You can keep your gun to my head if it makes you feel more comfortable.
It does.
Good.
Yes, and do tell your name, because I need to write down who is going to kill my captain.
Your captain's really wishing she'd kept the couple of points she put into hand to hand before she swapped it.
My name is
guessing-
Tash. I'm
Tash.
a security officer on the Shamsa.
Excellent, Tash. I'm the captain. Oh god,
Not my captain.
no.
No, mine.
And to be honest,
At
they
this
get
point, I'm
quite
slinging
possessive.
the flamethrower
Mm-hmm.
and drawing my own pistol.
Well, that makes me feel happier.
Her gun's bigger than yours.
Yep, I don't care. Her gun's not pointed at me.
No, it's not. It's pointed at Zainab, so you're fine. You got no worries.
Exactly. And I'm going to start aiming my pistol.
Male or female? So did you say it was a she?
Female.
Female, yes.
Female. Okay.
Remind me again, how long is she here? Since when is the science ship parked here?
Oh, that's a good
How long did she
question.
manage to survive-ish?
That security officer
the
explains why she
question
survived so long.
Here
Oh yeah.
is whether or not the scenario told me, because if not, I might have had to ad-lib it in the past.
No, that's not a plant
Remember What I
person.
came up with.
Yeah, the plant's been here for 100 years. Oh, the station's been here 100 years, but I didn't take a note of how long ago the ship we're looking for went missing.
Okay, because I'm not sure whether I've told you this before. I'm going to say a week.
Right.
Took you a couple of days to get, no, a bit little longer than that actually, because let's say it was missing a week when they contacted you to come looking.
And then
it
a
took
couple
you
of days on
to
top.
get here. So
Okay.
week to 10 days.
Why don't you tell us what happened to your crew?
Those things killed them.
Right. By things, do you mean the plants?
I mean the things in the plants.
What
Oh.
things in the plants?
The
Enlighten us.
I don't know what they were. They looked like men, but plants.
Okay.
And killing how? I'm a sucker for details.
They...
Gun.
Hang on, let me just look at their stats to find out what their damages are.
Yeah, that's endearing. Thanks. Makes me feel so much better.
They tore them apart with their bare hands.
Or vines or tentacles or whatever they are. Right, let's go.
Retrospective. Thank you, Farouk, for the intimidation earlier,
You're welcome.
because I think that was what it was trying to do to me.
I've saved one of my crew. I can save us all if we leave.
Mm.
Let's go, Miss.
No, they did say. Okay.
I'm blowing this station, with or without you. At that, she shoves Zeynep towards you and starts backing down the corridor with her gun pointed at you guys.
Is that backing down the corridor that's full of vines?
Yes, that's backing down the corridor that's full of vines.
Do any of them seem to be keen on stopping her?
At the moment, the vines are largely quiescent. You've only seen a small amount of movement from them.
She did say her name,
Tash.
Shahad, can you do anything with... I'm speaking low enough that it won't go outside my helmet, but over the comms. Can you do anything with Tash and security chief? In
You mean
trying
from
to access...
from the things we know about the sign chip?
Yeah, and can you manufacture a clearance based on that information?
I can try. As always.
It's a little bit... You basically got a username potentially now.
Yeah,
Or,
knowing
yeah,
the
you
name
like
of the
that.
security chief, I will give you a +1 to your next hacking attempt, because at least, yeah, you now know who the security chief is, so it might give you something to work with when trying to get in.
Maybe you could get the name of a favorite pet or something, because that would make it much easier saying it. But yes,
I don't think
do keep her at bay and maybe start following her.
Tash, we can talk about this. It doesn't have to be done immediately. And you've got more chance with a team.
There's nothing to talk about. If you won't help me, I'll do it on my own.
Okay, what is your plan?
Destroy the station.
Okay,
Nothing leaves.
that's a childish response. You're a professional. Tell me what your plan is. Come on, officer.
I just did.
I'm
When
trying
you don't
to...
have a plan. We do.
You have a lousy plan.
Well, my plan would be to shove the whole station into the next sun, because just making it explode means that the parts are going to be all over the place and travel far and wide. Right now they are contained to a certain point in space and can't flee.
Can we trigger an implosion? If it's a fusion generator, can we trigger an implosion rather than an explosion?
I'm going to say no.
Let's
Although you
check.
could make me a science check, I suppose, to find out. I'm just not sure what the downside would be if you get it, if you fail, because you only actually, You're only supposed to roll the dice if failure has some sort of negative effect. I'm trying to think what the negative effect of failing that would be. I know what the negative effect of failing.
Ah, she didn't roll any sixes anyhow.
I'm actually going to re-roll that anyway.
Yeah.
Because the only reasonable negative effect that I can give you, that I can think of, is that you think you know how to, but don't.
All right.
So that obviously isn't going to work if you know whether you failed or not.
Okay, roll it.
So...
Ooh.
You're after 7.
You're 7.
Science is kind of my thing.
Real dice for this.
Fish is rolling it. You know what's coming next, right?
1, 1, 1, 1, 2, but cocked. Re-rolling to 1.
Okay.
So I was rolling last time.
There is a way that you might be able to do it. It's not a proper implosion as such, but you could create a chain reaction which will essentially create a vacuum within the center of the explosion. So it's not a true implosion, but it disintegrates the interior matter first and draws other things in. So it's kind of exploding, but backwards, rather than truly imploding.
Mm-hmm. But basically, it should keep everything
But it should do what
pretty
you want
much
it to do,
in
yes.
place. Right. I'm going to describe the outline of this process to Captain Engineering over here and Captain Techie here. In the hope that they can then make it work.
Can I radio the information to our board technician
Our
if
ship's
he has...
engineer.
Yeah,
Ship's engineer.
because he has like a little bit more knowledge than me how to make things
You can get into
reverse explode.
Yeah.
with Zebo indeed.
I was also thinking Farouk's quite good at blowing things up.
Yeah, resistance fighter / terrorist. Yes, quite
Yeah.
possibly good at blowing things
I
up.
still need to get my notes updated, by the way, Fish, because they're still Farouk's.
Yeah, I know that I didn't delete them.
That's all right.
Also, I'm very relieved that Tash let you go, because my negotiation tactic from that point on was, when we used to have terrorist situations back at home,
Oh,
you shoot the hostage.
thanks. Yeah, I'm almost certain the cost of my new suit would come out of your wages.
Yep. But generally speaking, when someone's got you held like that, your less than vital parts are covering their vital parts. I shoot you in the less than vitals, you survive, they die.
Oh, my theory was going to be to headbutt her with my helmet on.
That would also work, and have
Yeah,
been
what-
much more fun to watch.
One thing that now that she's clear of you, you can see, by the way, is that although she is wearing a similar sort of suit to what you're wearing, she doesn't have either the helmet or the gloves on.
It's not orange, is it?
No, it's not
Okay.
like the one you found before, which was of an earlier
Red.
design.
Yeah, that was an early design.
That was it, yeah.
So, you can indeed get a communications channel open to Zebo. So.
Open
Why
channel
haven't you
D.
called us before? What's going on over there?
We're having a party.
Yeah, let's just say the excrement's hitting the air conditioning.
Oh, great.
We have a survivor.
Oh, that too. Yeah, we're one more than before.
We also have a feasibility study to be done. How practical would it be to create a zero vacuum implosion in the drive of this station?
Just
The station
theoretically.
doesn't have drives, but if you mean in the fusion core,
Yeah, that
yeah, the
thing.
fusion core.
it could be done, but you'd need explosives.
What sort of explosive?
Say that temper.
Well, sort that go bang, really.
I can make great many things go bang. How much of an explosion do we need?
I mean, what you'd need to do, you'd need to set the reactor to overload first, but then you'd have to have explosives at key feed pipes to go off just before the reactor went critical, and that should do it.
Right. Do we have floor plans for this station?
Floor plans coming right up.
You do have floor plans, but they're not particularly technical.
No.
How far
Technical floor
away?
plans would probably be stored in engineering.
Well, we
How
never went.
far away is this is our current location from the nearest star?
Oh, quite a long way. You're on the out on the edges of the solar system.
Okay, we're out on the edge of the solar system. Okay.
I mean, re-entry would be favourite, but that would cause an awful lot of problems when it hit the ground.
Yes, re-entry isn't what I was thinking. I was thinking if we can't push it towards the star, we'll just push it away from everything.
Yeah.
Do ask our new friend Tash for directions. Yes.
Well, granted, she's well away from everything.
To be fair, she's our key point. She doesn't mind going down with it. I do. Tash, we've got a plan that will achieve your objective. You going to help us with it?
Talk. Actually, no, wait. She looks somewhat furtively around her. And then the best word I can use is scurries over to where you are. It's not a movement you expect to see someone whose bearing and skills do appear to be military. Making. It looks more like Newt from Aliens, to be honest.
Rough week, huh?
They might be listening.
That doesn't surprise me.
They have control of some of the systems.
Oh,
Yep.
no, you're just taking this.
That doesn't surprise me either, from what I've seen. Zainab,
Tash.
Your plan.
give the science.
Okay, Zainab is going to run through again the outline that our engineer has given as to how we can make this work and the effect it will have on the station. Minimum dispersal, maximum destruction, everything incinerated.
I don't know about the technology, but if it'll work, I have the explosives.
Excellent.
Just out of curiosity, Tash, did you happen to send us a message on the internal IT system?
Till you came into this corridor, I didn't even know you were here.
Oh, good.
What if... No, never mind.
That's a comfort. Right.
If we tell you where the explosives need to be placed and what the settings need to be, can you set them?
Yes.
Excellent. We will need to get
Right.
to engineering to get the full deck plans to know where to put them, and also access to the core. Can you guide us?
I don't know my way around that well, but I know where engineering is.
That's where we need to be. I'd still really like to get to the Shamsa, but I don't fancy...
You and me both.
The only thing we need off the Shamsa is information. If we've got a connection to the Shamsa, can you get us onto the? Can you give us a password to get into the computers?
I'm security officer. I have a login.
I'm listening.
Shahad? Meet my
Shahad,
friend
yeah.
Shahad. He does computers.
Pushing the return button until I'm at the login screen. Ta-da! I have your name. Please give me your password.
Okay, she will tell you her password. I'm not going to try and make up a password for an NPC at this point.
Clickety clickety click.
Shamsa 123
It's-
exclamation point.
It's a proper password. It's a series of random seeming letters and numbers rather than a word. She's
One
clearly
of them,
security
huh?
conscious.
It's not chunks of her favourite Michael Bolton song.
No, it's not chunks of her favourite Michael Bolton song. And yeah, that indeed gets you into the Shamsa systems. First thing that you see, because it's kind of got a little status box on one side of the screen, is that the ship is essentially powered down. It's on minimum power, but is still functioning.
Okay. Makes sense. Huh. Shahad, you do what you can. Tash, I suppose show us where the generators are.
Okay.
The planet core.
She will guide you back the way you came. So who is doing?
I'm staying with the
what?
hacker. He needs protection. And I'm switching from accelerator pistol back to flamethrower.
Back to flamethrower.
Yes,
Right,
set fire to
you
the
two
hacker.
are still in this corridor using the using Shahad's computer and a wireless link to access whatever you need on Shamsa, and Zainab is being led by Tash deeper into the station.
Yeah. Because this will go well.
Fun.
I know, Farouk, what I really could do with a comfortable office. Maybe a hot cup of tea. Ah.
We'll get that when we get back to the ship.
I know. Clickety, 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 clickety.
I'm wondering. This is as much to Tash as it is over the comms. I think they've got multiple factions of plant.
That was the thought I stopped halfway through.
We've got the homicidal bastards who've taken out your crew and who tried to kill me. But equally, I think something's been sending us warnings.
Warnings.
Yes. Would you care to relay what you saw?
I will report the quote that was posted on the computer screen.
Yeah, what is Tash's reaction to that one?
She looks confused for the one of you that can actually see her. I never saw anything like that. Just those things.
When you said those things, I had an inkling you meant some sort of humanoid plant. Then you went on and explained humanoid plant. I've seen one. It was curious.
I don't know about that. The first one, it approached slowly. Didn't seem threatening at first.
And?
Then it tried to grab Hakim. I took it out, and others came out of nowhere, and they attacked us.
Were
I
they
got away,
distinct?
nobody else did.
Were they distinct entities? Or were they part of the vines?
I don't know what you mean.
Did they seem to have been attached to anything, or were they discrete away from the rest of the plants?
As far as I know, they were discreet.
Oh, good. Well, there's something to look forward to.
How many are we talking?
I saw at least 3, maybe more.
Well, I'm going to ask the question no one else has asked yet. How did you survive this long?
I took out another one, fled, hid.
What have you been living on?
Trying to figure out how best to destroy the reactor.
Now we've told you.
I also was trying to get back into the Shamsa, but the plants have completely isolated it.
Why would they do that?
Stop believing.
To stop me getting back into it?
Why would they want to stop you leaving?
Because they are evil and they want us all dead.
If they want us all dead, then being alone on an isolated station in the middle of nowhere is a piss-poor strategy. escaping aboard a ship. That's a good strategy.
Maybe they just want to be left alone then.
Then why don't? Well, maybe they do.
Yep. I'm eyeing Tash. I'm looking for anything like, I don't know, little green flecks in the iris, open wounds that might be sprouting little vinelets. You know, the sort of thing I'm thinking of, I take it.
Okay.
Signs of some potential corruption or infection.
If she sneezes, is this green what comes out?
That's not a good test.
As you study her, she glares at you. What?
Just checking you over. You've been here surviving alone. It's impressive. We nearly got killed at least once. And we've only been here a few hours.
You're not legionnaires. We have
Oh.
training.
You are. Good.
I was.
Ah. No. I'm just an archaeologist.
For reference, Fishy, when you say Legionnaires, is that a specific like Spec Ops division, or is that just military generally?
That is. Let me see. Did I actually include anything about the Legion in notes? I don't.
Just
think
looking,
I
actually.
Did.
I keep forgetting we've got the story bits to look at. Display the job, the message, the Nuzulus.
There's a lot more in notes because I've added a lot of stuff in there.
Systems, religion, skills.
Don't think I got as far as doing the faction.
No, there is no Legion.
Is what
No.
this
See anything
But
about
there are
the
many.
come under.
Subtle. There are the portals. One is orange, the other is blue.
Okay. So let's just
Now you're thinking with portals.
find the Legion.
Sorry to ask the awkward question.
Fairly certain I know what I need to be telling you, but I don't want to be misremembering, so I just want to check it in the rule book.
That works.
Always better to be safe.
Yeah,
Mm.
because if I say something wrong, then I've got to change everything.
Retcon.
'Cause I
Retcon all the
can't-
things.
Can't be doing retcom, so...
That's normally me.
So
So we're currently basically sending Zainab ahead to check out what again? Because if the explosives are back on our own ship, shouldn't we wait for them to come
She's
over?
she's got
Oh,
explosives.
hey, right.
She claims to have explosives.
I thought it was Zebo.
No, it's Tash
No.
claims to have explosives.
Knowledge of
okay, I
how
got that
you
one
put
wrong.
things.
Yeah,
Tash has the kit.
yeah.
But why didn't she set it off until now? Okay.
She didn't know how.
Mm.
She's security, not a techie.
She's designed to hit things or shoot
Okay.
things.
So
But
the-
she's
the
a legionnaire.
The Legion is one of the factions in the Third Horizon. It's the youngest of the First Come factions. So young, it's usually considered Zenithian, but that's mainly
Okay.
due to their close ties with the Consortium. They run security for most Consortium things. The Legion is comprised of a diverse collection of mercenaries and armed skippers gathered around the remnants of a fleet squadron from the Portal Wars. So,
Isn't it-
Yes.
Isn't it that faction then that my little whole planetary rebellion thing that I was involved with was against?
They're certainly involved. Yes, it's the consortium that you were
Yes.
opposed, and their security. Although most of the companies within the consortium have private security, the big stuff is handled by the Legion. So this
So
is the sort of person that you
I
would
was
have
up
been
against.
fighting.
So how good are the Legion compared to how good I am?
Depends on the
It
person.
depends. I mean, generally the Legion are pretty good. They're the only major professional military in the Third Horizon.
That are legally
They're-
approved.
There are security forces in various places. I mean, for example,
Mhm.
various emirs and sultans have their own security forces who are effectively soldiers. but the only one operating on a big fleet and army basis is the Legion.
Okay. Okay, so you got skills. Why didn't you blow it up already?
Trying to figure out the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, I wanted to be sure everything went with it. I've got a couple of satchel charges. They're not going to take out a station.
They don't need to.
I don't know the tech that well. Pretty sure if I put them in the right place I can make the reactor go up. But maybe it doesn't destroy the whole station.
Well,
it's a fusion reactor. It wouldn't.
So you basically bunkered down with some books to read into how to...
I was
my first station
scouting
demolition.
The engineering section. I found the reactor. I know where that is. None of the terminals I've found have been functioning. I wanted to find one with some specs on it. Something with schematics so I could get a better idea of where to plant these.
Plant.
Nothing's been turned on.
Right. Okay.
How are we getting on? Well, while that conversation's going on, I shall then look back down to Shihad. How much longer? We need to move.
Okay, well, you're into the system because you've got a login. What are you looking for now you're in there?
Well, we need to ship logs.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so they're copying them.
Flight
Nice
plan.
and easy.
Captain's log, security officer's
Security
logs. That
officer
should be
certainly has
sufficient.
access.
Yep. From the basic ship logs to any personal big files, even if I can't decrypt the files, I'm taking what I can get.
Navigation
Okay.
data.
Copy star.log.
Yeah. Yeah, of the primary systems as well as the daily menu. I don't know. So
Boof the system into running a regular backup and change its backup location to your drive, rather than
Yeah.
the one that it normally is on. And suddenly it does all the work for you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's going to take a few minutes for the files to copy, but it's doing its thing.
Right.
Meanwhile, you have arrived, Drut, at an elevator.
Okay. Or a lift, as we call them.
Yes, if you're going to be like that. The doors are standing open, and the actual cabin is currently not there. There is a shaft running down
Good.
into darkness. Power's off.
Excellent.
We need to go down there.
Oh. Wacko. What's the lift technology? Are we talking cables or are we talking maglev or what?
Yeah, we'll go
Maglev.
old. Actually, let's not go old school. I was going to say we'll go old school and we'll have cables, but this has artificial gravity. If the artificial gravity wasn't running, the cables would be fairly useless. So instead, let us assume that the lift effectively is almost like a train.
Rack and pinion.
Cogged wheels on either side
Gotcha.
that drive up and down an appropriate sort of
Right.
pre-designed track.
Not wishing to throw spokes in your excellent plan of getting us to engineering, but how?
Climb.
Fantastic. Excellent. Not a problem. Is my survival skill going to cover this?
Let me just check the skills. This is going to be a dexterity skill, I would have
I
said.
know it's going to be a dexterity
Yeah.
skill. I'm
No,
hoping.
the skill
however.
itself is called dexterity.
Oh,
The
yes.
attribute is agility.
Bollocks. I'm better
When
with
you jump,
survival.
climb, sprint, or perform an action that demands speed or coordination, I reckon probably
gonna
climbing
be
is
dex.
going to count because it's
Yeah.
between that and force, really. You'd be
Well,
using
it's
force if you were going
specifically-
to try and pull yourself up by your hands, But actual proper climbing is probably going to be
Well,
dexterity.
in a space suit, so it's gonna be strength.
Yeah, thanks for that.
I'm just saying.
The suits are fairly lightweight. They're not massively
Okay.
bulky.
Okay. Well, at least I have dexterity.
It's a skill.
Yeah.
It's a general skill. Everybody can use dexterity, whether they have points in it or not.
Ah.
Yeah.
The advanced skills you need to have points in to be able to use.
I do have a level in it.
So it's agility
level in
plus your
dexterity?
dexterity.
Well, hey.
It's loosely based on Lara Croft. The whole running, jumping, climbing trees is not completely alien to her. It's just not where her skills lie, her strengths lie.
Okay. Given that you have at least one rank in dexterity,
Mhm.
I'm not actually going to require that you make a roll for this. The climb is relatively simple.
Yeah.
If you didn't have the skill, I think I'd have asked for an agility roll to get from the doorway to the track where
Yeah.
you've got really good hand and footholds.
Yeah.
But as it is, because you have the skill, you can just swing out there easily enough.
Okay.
And begin climbing down.
She's got 3 agility, 1 dexterity, so yeah.
However,
Oh,
although the climb itself is not particularly difficult,
Mm.
it is quite stressful and you've got a little way to go. So I am going to ask you for a force general skill roll.
What? Oh god!
On the
What's
basis,
that attached to?
on
Strength.
the basis that, yeah, that's basically it. The climbing is easily enough, but not getting knackered is another matter.
Right.
Mm.
So I'm just making a strength check.
Just a strength check if you have no points in force. Yes.
I have no points in the force. No. I would
Use
like
the
to say
force.
you're about to watch the party medic go galloping down towards.
Yeah, I'm
Floor
slightly,
at
I'm
the rate
slightly
of knots.
concerned that the party medic has gone off with an unknown entity,
Yeah, it's
and the effectively the party combat womble is
Anyone
standing
else?
guard over the hacker.
That's a
Why
new
do you-
term for me.
I now have an image of Orinoco with a minigun
You're welcome.
and the bandana
Uh,
with the hat over the top. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Vietnam vet Orinoco.
Combat wombat was what I meant to say, but
Yeah, no, I
prefer
think combat womble
That
works.
works for me.
It does. Uncle Bulgaria. Oh yeah, he was the lieutenant. You know how it goes.
you don't be a combat womble and get to be old unless you're good.
Yeah,
And Great Uncle Bulgaria is very good.
you're allowed to wear all the dippy hats you like if you do it that good.
Oh yes. That shawl was armor plated. You realise? It's pure Kevlar.
Right.
Right, you're gonna make this
Dun,
strength roll then.
dun.
Oh dear. Okay.
Somebody
you're
is
not-
getting exhausted.
You
I'm
are
knackered.
not falling to your doom. Don't
No.
worry, I'm not that mean.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh.
However, you do have to stop several times along the way
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You're still carrying your science kit as well, right?
Yeah.
because you're basically just getting tuckered out. And Tash is rather impatient.
What a surprise.
Not all of us are designed to be running, jumping,
Climbing.
and shooting things.
Climbing lift shafts.
Hmm.
When
So-
we've set these charges, are you going to be able to get back up?
That's a pleasant thought. Yes, it'll be fine.
Oh, the power of fear is going to make her run. Oh, did I say that out loud?
How
Is it said over the comms? No, of course, because she hasn't got comms.
She's not on.
She
comms.
hasn't got comms, but I think I'm going to get into the habit of, while talking to Tash, answering as if I'm talking to chat on the stream. Basically, quote back her question to her, and then answer it
Mm-hmm.
to give the other guys an idea of what the hell's going on.
Could always turn gravity off, that way you don't need to climb.
That's one thought. Not a bad one, actually. Engineering's the sort of place I could do that anyway. Besides,
Yep.
we're probably going to have to do that in order to maximise the effect of the explosion.
Yep, you wouldn't want anything interfering with the what you're creating.
I take it you're rated for 0 G, Tash?
Of course.
Yes.
Where's her helmet?
That's a very good question.
If
Well,
it comes to the worst, we can get another one across from our ship. Assuming she wants to leave after all this.
we had a look at the helmet in the airlock, didn't we?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
I know the helmet was an older design.
Yeah.
Would it fit?
Is it basically the same fitting, even if it wouldn't hook up to the O2 supply and stuff? Would it still provide Vaxil? But I'll be doing this from memory.
Well, it's the sort of thing that you might have noticed. In another game, I would say, well, make me a wits check to see. But again, the only negative result I can really give you on a failure is that you misremember.
Yeah.
So that implies to me that I shouldn't be asking you to roll for it. That you either I let you remember or I tell you you don't. So what I'm going to do instead
Is ask where did you leave the helmet?
I'm going to focus on the luck part of this.
Oh.
It's an old design. Does it work or does it not work? That's a very good question. And I'm going to be a bit mean and I'm going to say, if you want to give me a darkness point, then yes, it's the same fitting.
She's only missing the helmet, isn't she?
No gloves.
She hasn't got the gloves on either, but for all you know, she may still be carrying those.
She
You
may
could
still be
see if
carrying
she had
those.
The helmet, the gloves could be in a pouch.
I'm
somewhere.
guessing, by the way, that the suits all come with basically patch repair kits. Something
Yes.
that you can slap on.
Yes.
So
that
worst
seems
case, we
reasonable.
can just run a seal around her wrists and she'll have to put up with ruptured blood vessels in her hands.
She'll love
For a
that.
bit. Yeah, well, it beats exploding.
Well, yes. Most things beat exploding, to be honest.
Okay, I'm inclined to give a darkness point for this, but I'm going to take it under a majority vote.
Yeah, I will make this a group decision. So.
Well,
Light's
let's
face
bring the
voted
evil
against
home.
there.
I vote against.
So
4.
Is that a 4, Mickey?
Yeah, 4.
yeah, so okay, so yeah, it will work. It's the same fitting. I've got
Okay.
a darkness point.
Damn it.
He's
sure
already
you're not
got
meant to gain darkness points this way, but
You enjoyed it.
yeah,
Yeah.
you guys just aren't re-rolling often enough.
Yeah, there's that. It's always disconcerting when you do that. I should be expecting it by now.
Well, thing is, you can't see my hands move because you can't see my hands move because it's on a foot pedal.
Oh, yeah, good
Yeah.
point. You're just geared up for everything on your limbs. Okay,
I'm a drummer.
So, eventually,
true.
you reach the bottom of the shaft,
Okay.
and you step off your makeshift ladder onto the top of what is clearly a lift unit.
Mm-hmm.
The emergency inspection hatch in the top, stands open already. This is clearly how Tash got in to scout engineering.
But there's no vines in this shaft at all, is there?
There are, yes. I
Oh, are
just
there?
didn't bother to mention them because they're everywhere. Sorry,
Okay.
I should have made clear that there are indeed. There's none of the hanging liana things here.
That's a
It is
relief.
just vines growing
Mm.
pretty much everywhere. You're still not
Right.
entirely sure how they root themselves to these metal bulkheads the way they do, but somehow they do. It's relatively sparse here compared to some of the places you've been. This shaft has very few vines in.
Okay. Right. Let's mosey on to engineering then.
Okay, yeah, you can drop down into the lift. Again, the doors have already been pried open.
Yeah.
And your suit light illuminates an open area. It's not a corridor.
Mm-hmm.
There are sort of mesh dividing walls here.
Yeah.
It's not like the lab where the dividing walls were glass. Here they look almost like chain link running floor to ceiling.
Okay.
And
That's
there's
not nearly impervious enough for me.
an awful lot of pipes and cables and things running all over everywhere, and various terminals and boxes that look quite mechanically, but you don't have technology as a skill, so...
No, I
have.
have. No. I am the pure science.
Yes.
I'm the
you
ideas person.
understand the principles on which these things are created, but you don't understand the creations.
No.
It is indeed the engineering section. It looks like it stretches for quite a way, and there are a few labels up here and there, which you can see quite clearly, because while there are some vines here, there are very, very few.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see labels for things like life support this way, gravity this way, reactor that way.
I'm going to go first to gravity.
Okay.
If we need to move in a hurry, then flying is going to be a better idea than climbing.
So you slide a cage door open in order to get through. It creaks rather more than you would like it to.
Wacko.
And past there you find yourself in a relatively small oblong space, maybe 2.5 meters across and twice that in depth, in the center of which most of the space is taken up by some sort of solid state machinery. It's obviously an advanced device that you don't really understand.
Right. I found the gravity generator, I think, or possibly the controls for the gravity generator. Shahad's got access to our suit cams, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm patching her through, her view through to us.
Okie dokie.
What am I looking at, and how could I turn it off?
Right, okay, I would like a technology roll from somebody then.
Somebody with it would be ideal.
By somebody, I think I probably mean Farouk.
Hi.
What is technology?
Oh, you don't. I could have sworn you had at least a point in technology. Damn. Okay.
No, I can decipher the things, but not to operate them actually.
What is this, and how can I?
I can design the background for them. So
Statistically, I should get at least 1/6.
statistically, there is one
Yep. There
Yes.
You go.
matching your words.
Statistics work.
Yes.
Apparently.
For now.
Probability is not as messed up here as it was in the Witcher playtest yesterday.
Oh God! Never seen so many tens in my life.
Well, it wasn't so much
After the
the
ones.
tens. It was the 1 followed by a 10, 1 followed by a 10, 1 followed by a 10, and then later 10 followed by a 10. So that's each of those has a 1 in 100 chance of happening, and those 4 all happened to me during a 3-hour game session. I did not make 400 rolls in that session. I would like to specify that.
You'd be lucky if you made 100 in that session.
Yeah.
I think you made about 5.
So yeah, what you are looking at is indeed the gravity generator. There are other elements to it, but those will be around the station in various places. This is the actual machine that makes it work, but then there would be emitters scattered all around the station that make gravity plating work and everything functions. This is definitely the thing, though. It's probably not controlled directly from here. It is probably tied into the station systems and operated remotely via the station's operating system. However, it should have, and you can instruct Zeynep to walk around it until you spot such a thing, effectively an inspection panel that allows diagnostics and repairs and so forth. And that could probably be used to shut it down, turn it off, various other things that mean not have gravity anymore.
Okay.
Shoot it.
In a quick and dirty situation, would destroying it kill gravity?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Destroying the thing that generates gravity is an excellent way of stopping gravity.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was a primary interface or whether that was actually the thing that controlled it. So...
No, this is the generator itself. But
right.
Okay.
Okay, so
It does have the stun gun, right?
If you destroy that, we lose gravity. But round the back, there's an access panel. Rip that
Right.
up, we can kill the gravity from there.
Okay, I'm going to have a look at what he indicates as the access panel and
Okey
see if
dokey.
I can get it off with the tools available to me as a result of my science. Probably my science lab.
It's not so much a matter of get it off, as there's a couple of screws that you need to undo, and then it's a hinged panel that folds down.
Right.
Behind it there is a monitor screen,
Okay.
and on the inside of the panel is a keyboard.
Okay.
Around the monitor screen are various dials, actual good old-fashioned mechanical dials,
Oh.
which are sort of flickering away and registering whatever they're registering. You don't really know.
Huh.
You might
Right.
be able to understand the principles behind this if you look into it, but you don't know what any of the abbreviations on these dials actually mean.
Where does it
Except
get its
that one
power?
is probably power.
Where does it get its power? I mean, literally, physically. Where does the cable come in that powers the device?
Through
Not
the
sure.
You've got a keyboard and screen. You could probably go shutdown protocol.
I will try that.
Are we turning it off now?
No, I'm just asking. I'll let you know.
Okay. I would allow either datagen or technology to figure
Which
this
of those
out.
do you have,
Do
Drup?
you have either of them?
You're smelly. I don't like you.
Right. Okay. So, in that case, I'm going to
Wits.
quickly house rule something. And what I am going to do is I am going to say that I'm going to allow the helping someone rule to apply in this case. Because you have no skill,
No, thank you.
but
you
the
for
person who
that.
does have skill can talk you through what you're supposed to be doing.
What I was after,
So
by
it
the
will
way.
be your wits indeed, because that's what both of those skills are based on. +1 for the person helping you. But I'm actually going to impose a -2 for the fact that you have no skill in this at all, and you're only allowed to do it because someone else is talking you through it. So overall, it works out at
-1.
wits -1. Fortunately, you have really good wits.
Right.
And are you doing this the same way as before? So the help throws 1 die, or is Drut doing the whole thing? Drut's better at
Yeah,
dice than
I
me.
will.
Drut
I
the
will
whole
do
thing.
it that way. Yeah, I will impose. So Drut's rolling wits -2, and
Okay.
you,
I'm
Knight,
rolling.
are rolling 1 die,
Sorry guys, I've just killed us.
and you're looking for
Oh.
6s between you.
Right. Okay. Well done. What I was specifically looking for, by the way, Fish, was instructions initially. Not necessarily switch it off and shut it down, shut it all
no,
down
but you've
now.
got to figure out the system, the interface.
Yeah.
So
Right,
if
rolling
you,
with
if
a
you make
-2.
this roll, you won't have shut it down, but you'll know how to. You'll have the sequence. I see a 6 there.
There's a 6 there.
So, yeah.
That's twice with my 1d6 I rolled a 5.
Yeah, I know. I'd feel victimised if I were you.
So you can indeed navigate your way through. First off, yes, when you press the go button, it actually does light up. Although the terminals scattered around this place aren't functioning, this machine has power, otherwise you wouldn't have
Yeah.
gravity. So therefore, it's its access terminal does work. It also has power. You can navigate your way through its menus after a couple of false starts where you go to displays of data that mean nothing to you at all. Eventually you find a diagnostic menu, and that diagnostic menu, while it doesn't have the ability to switch off gravity, does have a low-level diagnostic check which temporarily disables gravity while the check is being run. So when you trigger this, gravity will be disabled for 15 minutes until the check is complete, and then it'll cycle back up again.
Okay.
There are big warnings all over this when you're looking at that menu item. Warning, gravity will be disabled.
Yeah. Do you know where your handholds are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell someone.
Yeah.
Maybe broadcast.
Yes. Warn people. Okay.
You gotta feel sorry for the poor guy that's in the toilet when that happens.
Oh, yes.
Ouch.
Right,
Not so
so
much ouch as ew.
Yeah. No. Oh no.
you have figured out how to turn off the gravity.
Yeah. Right. That'll be a last-minute situation, but I know how it works. Found the on-off.
And it'll make getting up from here
Quicker.
much easier.
Should make getting through a lot easier as well, through the corridors.
So you've got all the files copied from the shelter. You've got the ability to turn off gravity. And with Zebo's help, you know where to plant the 2 satchel charges
Yeah.
that Tash has on.
Yeah.
These charges are timed. There is no remote detonator.
Oh, of course they are. Right.
So we'll meet
what's
you at the
the
exit,
plan
yes?
from now?
Where do the charges need to go? Do they need to go in engineering, or do they need to go elsewhere in the station?
They actually need to go right up on the reactor itself. On
On the 2 main feed pipes.
Yeah, the 2 main feed pipes.
Of course they do.
And they need to be timed so that they go off just before the reactor goes critical when set to overload.
Right. Okay. So how this is going to work is Farouk and Shihad are going to head back to our airlock. Snag the helmet on the way. It's the one on the floor, half full of plant. Be ready to leave, which means get the line across before we set the charges. Make
It's
sure.
half full of plant. Why not bring a spare helmet across from our ship when we set the line?
Okay, that works for me. Works for me too. I'm considering emergencies.
Just for emergency purpose, I don't want to take anything that's got plant in it onto my ship.
I think it
The
mostly
person we are going to
had
transport.
skull. Sorry?
Like the person we are going to transport back
What,
to
you
our
reckon
ship.
Yeah, you reckon they're full of plant? Yeah, I've seen that film. Extra 2, if I recall correctly. John Michael Vincent. So, get the line set up. Notify me when we are good to leave. We can then set the time charges, kill the gravity,
get
and
the
we
hell
can
out
then
of
make
Dodge.
it back to the airlock. But I want to make sure neither of you need the loo or have anything left set up or anything you
Trust
want
me,
to
situations
take.
like this, it won't be a problem.
That's what suit
No,
does.
but I do gotta say, I had a better fun time plucking feathers from a recently deceased chicken back in my youth, and it did scare me quite shitless, you know.
Okay.
Super good, though.
Strange. I'm just glad it's recently deceased instead of, a live chicken, because that's just no.
Well,
Well, yeah. Yep. Okay. Kinky's using the feather. Perverted's using the whole chicken.
Yeah.
Sorry. No idea where that quote comes from. I can't remember offhand.
Yeah, it's been
Invented
around
by
as long
Drott.
as I can remember.
It's been around a long, long time, yeah.
That's what you say. Hashtag invented by Drott.
I wish.
No, that's not hers. I actually know that one from before, and in German.
I've not
Oh,
heard it.
God.
Oh, yeah, that's an old one.
Yeah. It's a very practical way of looking at things, actually. Okay.
So we're heading back to the airlock.
Get yourself safe. Get yourself sorted out
Okay.
for transit.
Pack up the computer. Presumably we can use the backpack radio while we're on the move, or does it have to be stopped and set up and used?
I seem to recall it's actually on the back, so it is.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah,
assume
yeah,
that you
it's
can,
my backpack,
yeah.
so.
It's normally sort of packed up when you're moving around, but it doesn't have to be. So.
Cool.
Yes, you leave
But
it.
I'm guessing I can like plug it into my suit.
Yeah, that makes sense. I see no reason why you can't connect it to the suit systems.
One uses a 6mm jack, and the other one uses a 3.5.
And you've left all your adapters back on the Zalus.
Don't make it more difficult than necessary.
Yes. No, it's actually one that just uses those weird screw-in phonos.
I have a toolkit.
Is that actually a matchstick?
No, that is actually a...
Yep. Plug and play.
Oh, that's actually the adapter.
Yeah.
Yay. All mine go the other way, which is really annoying because very rarely have I ever had the need to do that. Okay. So I've got
Never
an
challenge
XLR.
the guy that does audio.
Yeah. I've got an XLR adapter kicking around somewhere.
I've got that as well. That's...
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Yep. XLR to XLR or XLR to jack.
Mm.
I can go any which way you need.
No comment.
Sorry. I'm into the chicken.
So,
So,
You had radio the ship, tell them to prep the bucky cable, we'll meet them at the airlock.
Yep.
Well, we'll meet them to receive the cable at the airlock and tell them to prep a helmet.
Got it. Okay.
okay.
right, I'm going to explain in words of one syllable to Tash how this is going to work. Along the lines of talking to a sentient but very aggressive chihuahua.
Is there any other kind of chihuahua than aggressive? Not so much the sentient part.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're more likely to bite you than one of the big dogs. I mean, one of the big dogs will obviously take your arm off. Chihuahua will just sit and nibble at you. But,
I'm sure a
For
chihuahua can take you up
years.
given long enough.
practice. Thanks for the image of a chihuahua with a chainsaw.
I just have an image of a chihuahua leaping up to bite someone and then being so surprised it did it, barking and letting go.
Okay, so should I pick up the Mutant Year Zero role-playing game, which uses the same game system as this? Druts playing a chihuahua. Got it.
Yes.
With a chainsaw.
Yeah, that goes on the list.
I was thinking actually a Chinese crested with a chainsaw. But they would be-
an awful lot like TMNT.
That's
and-
less alliterative. It's got to be a chihuahua with a chainsaw. 'Cause
Chihuahua
that
with a
sounds
chainsaw.
better.
Okay, fair enough.
Not a chihuahua with a chain gun.
That's the sound
No,
of
that
the
might be a
man
bit overkill, I think.
working on the chain gun. Right. No idea what that.
And what did you say? What did you try to tell her in your wonderful voice?
Okay, what I am trying to tell her is that I've arranged our exit. We need to get to the airlock, and I will describe which side of the ship we need to get to.
Station.
Station. Keep pointing at the ship. Sorry. It's because the damn thing's moved. My brain is going. It must be therefore a spaceship. It's just a
Just a
spaceship that
big
doesn't
ship
go.
with less engines.
It is fewer engines, surely.
Don't
Less
necessarily
engine
need
power.
engines to
Right,
propel
then,
a ship,
fewer
just a
engines.
means of propulsion.
Don't confuse me. I'm easily confused. Especially
Basically,
today.
You can move the entire thing with one fire extinguisher.
That's exactly what I was
Eventually.
thinking. Or just vent
Yeah,
a
not
hole
going to move it
and, let,
very fast, but
and let the atmosphere do its thing over 100 years.
Yeah.
well, you do know that the living area has suffered explosive decompression. Maybe that's how it moved.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be bigger than a fire
I've got to
extinguisher.
admit, I had made that assumption.
Okay. Set the charges and the timer. We will have 15 minutes of 0G. That seems like a reasonable number to me. If you set for 12 minutes, then the charges will go off while we're still in 0G. Maximum effect, maximum destruction, and enough time for us to get back.
Okay. I'm liking this plan.
Right. This way, everybody gets out alive. Well, everyone who's left. We get our payday. You see, we're not being magnanimous. You're worth good money to us alive.
Well, she's not actually. The only one that
Did you just really say that?
is the professor.
It strikes me as actually that's the kind of motivation she would appreciate. Us doing this for the salvage money, for the rescue money, is one thing. Us turning up with slightly vague desires to take samples and find out what's going on and all that business, that is too complicated for her.
Also, to take samples? No, nothing's getting off this station.
No. This might reassure her that our motives are to get the hell out of Dodge. Yeah. And taking her with us will be to our benefit.
Before cutting the line halfway.
Cut it. Just, electrify it. So, that's the plan, basically, Fish. I will station myself by the gravity generator with the cutoff ready. And when we've had word from the guys in the airlock that their part is sorted, Tash can set the charges. I will kill the power.
Who shuts down the reactor? Or sets the reactor to implode?
Yeah, she sets the reactor to implode, and
Does she know how?
she's got the charges. That's what she needs to do.
That's not the same as setting the reactor to implode.
Shut up.
Charges are a separate thing to setting.
Okay, right. How do we do that then?
That'd be the science.
Well,
Excellent.
setting the reactor to overload requires technology.
Please tell us that Tash has technology.
Nope.
No. She has the bare minimum she needs to swipe a key card.
Tash has a number of skills which can all be roughly translated as hurt things.
Right.
Right.
Can we power it up enough to run it through Shihad's console so that I can do it from the console?
Ah, well, now there is somebody down here in engineering who may be able to route some power to various terminals and actually give you access to the core operating system, which would let you set it from anywhere you want.
That's what we'll do then.
Did the copying go through of the logs?
The files.
Okay, good.
You've got them. So
Fine.
that again is going to be a remote use of technology. So drop rolling wits -2 and night rolling 1 die to guide her.
If this causes us to need another point of darkness, I apologise in advance.
Another friggin' 5?
Do you roll anything but 5s ever?
Oh dear.
Okay, so far you failed to get the system up and running.
Have a point of
Are you
darkness.
going- Yep, you are. Okay, so
Does that
that will
give us
let you
all 4
re-roll
dice?
all of those dice. So
Yeah.
both of you can re-roll.
Oh, whoops, sorry. That was actually just a full wits roll. Hang on.
But I'm glad to see Farouk rolls now a
Something other
different
than
number.
Well, yeah, it's good to know that can happen.
And
Yes!
there's
Yes!
the 6 that you needed. Okay.
Sorry, I forgot that the modifiers needed to be set each time.
Yeah, no.
At this
no,
rate, I'm going to go get my heart rate monitor and set that thing
Yeah.
up.
Just as you're about to decide just as you're thinking that you are going to need to bring Farouk down here to actually
Yeah.
do it, you realise there's a switch on the side and you didn't press it.
Yeah, Farouk goes, what's the blue thing?
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Reboot. Remote diagnostic.
Okay.
Oh, would that be it?
So, you click a few switches. You pull a big old lever. And with a hum, the reactor begins to move out of its low energy almost standby mode, and terminals across the entire station spring to life. The lights in all of the corridors suddenly come on, although in many cases they're behind vines and are issuing an eerie green glow.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
wacko.
not discomforting.
Well, green and
And
black.
you
I think
can
that the
all
vines were
hear
black.
A faint, they're a dark green, but they vary in colour. You can all hear a faint, crackly hiss from somewhere. It sounds like speakers transmitting nothing. Probably because
Talk
it's
to the
speakers
plants.
transmitting nothing.
Talk to the plants, he said. It'll be fine, they said.
Talk to the plants, because the face ain't listening.
Yeah. Okay. Right, well, frankly, unless they start quoting Event Horizon at me, I am going to continue with the plan with a rather greater degree of brown trouseritis.
So, do we get to the airlock okay, or?
Yes, you get
Excellent.
the airlock okay, although now, somehow, with the power turned on, the place is even creepier than it was
Because of the
before.
green light.
Yeah, it made sense somehow for this all but deactivated station to be overgrown like this, even though it didn't really work because you're in space. An abandoned building covered in vines just sort of felt right enough not to be too bad. Now, however, this is a fully functional, technologically advanced station covered in vines, and it just feels wrong. So I think I'm going to ask you both to make me an empathy check.
That's wits, right?
No, that's
No, that's empathy.
empathy is its
Shit.
own thing,
I'm going.
and you're not very good at it, as I recall.
No.
Ooh.
Not good is that's.
How has Shahad got no empathy?
I don't need to. You need to feel what I do.
Have we just figured out why he left his previous occupation as a courtesan?
I didn't leave it.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay, so a failure will deliver another point of mind damage as you get a bit.
I need
That's
to
okay.
remember where to put the mind damage.
I've stuck mine in the attacks.
Yeah,
Next to,
hang on. I did put current mind on the
Oh, yeah, you
more
did.
core tab.
Sorry.
There's a combat box in the top right, and there is a space for current mind points. I'm not sure whether you can edit it or whether I'll have to.
You can because I just managed.
Yeah.
Right, cool. Thought you should be able to, but I'm not 100% sure.
So,
It's
Yeah,
odd because it doesn't show what I'm typing or writing, but it works.
yes. Oh, hang on. I just did the wrong one.
Oops.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, you've not had to make this roll as yet, Strut, because, as I said, there are very few vines down in engineering. So, and also
Yes.
the lighting is dimmer down here anyway, so it doesn't make as big a difference.
And hopefully
Yeah.
Drop won't need to, because it will be a gradual process, so it won't necessarily be as
So,
obvious.
yeah, it won't be as sudden, and therefore
I'm trying to help you here, Drop.
not
Yeah.
quite as
I'm
noticeable.
already freaked out, frankly.
Ah, so the elevator is working now again, which sometimes is a lift.
Mm-hmm. Under her breath, as the lights come on and everything starts powering up, Zainab is muttering a little prayer to the shadow, otherwise known as the Faceless One.
Cat, move, please. Get off the book. I want to look something up. I found a way of stopping him sitting in my dice
That's
tray.
true.
I put the book on it.
Seriously.
Well, if it works.
Yeah.
Right, just as a matter of interest, your previous prayer to the icons that actually got the power back on was made to the messenger. Each skill is associated with a different icon.
Okay.
So when, just to cover this mechanic, because we've not used it, but it is quite interesting. If you prepare in advance to pray, you can go to a chapel and make preparatory prayers, which give you a bonus when you then use a prayer to the icons to reroll. Of course, you're making that preparatory prayer to a particular icon.
Makes sense.
So that does mean that you need to know in advance what you want.
Who you're going to.
What you want to re-roll later on. So, for example, if you know you're going into combat, you can make a prayer to the judge for ranged combat or the dancer for melee combat. And then when you go into combat later on, you know you've got a bonus if you have to do a re-roll with that. Or in this case, the messenger would have been the one, which would cover science, technology, or data gen. So I can see the messenger probably being the most prayed to icon on board the Nautilus.
Yeah.
That's all in the notes under praying to the icons.
Yeah.
Should you wish to look it up at any point.
Yes, was just having a quick scooch through
Yeah,
there.
I've got the icons up on screen at the moment.
So you've got power on.
So, how long do I reckon it'll take me to do a shutdown of the core? Or, sorry, to do an over... it's an overload, isn't it, I need to do?
Yeah, it's an overload.
Yeah.
Make me a technology roll. It's not to actually do it now, but this roll will cover doing it later. So you'll be rolling now, and then you can do it whenever you want.
You are kidding me.
Unbelievable.
Oh, for God's sake.
Quick
really?
prayer to the messenger there, I feel.
Yes.
You know what it is? This is the Windows 8.1 version.
Well,
Nobody
it is
can
old.
find anything.
It's 100 years old, right? We're on NT4,
No.
that's what it is.
Oh,
I'm
God.
used to Win 10, we're on NT4.
I wasn't going to go quite that far. I was just going to say that this is old, so it's not Windows 8.1. This is Vista. It's no wonder it doesn't work.
Yes, that would be it.
Yeah, sorry, 8.1 worked.
Yes, Darkness Point and...
Yeah, 8 wasn't very good. 8.1 was okay.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Oh, I do not believe
Okay, that's
this.
14 dice and no sixes.
I do. I believe this.
Right, I am not going to say that you can't do it. What I'm going to say
This is
instead,
up to 6.
the penalty for your failure here is that your inefficient understanding of this specific technology, because it's not the same design that you're used to. Okay, Gretzer, cheers for being here.
Yes.
Alright, Grutzer, thank you.
Thank you for watching.
You can set the overload, but because you can't quite route enough stress to the system, you are actually having to do it really slowly. It's going to take an hour to build up to the point that it's going to explode.
Oh, good. So we've got to sit here with the power on and the speakers crackling at us theatrically
For 45 minutes.
for 45
For 45 minutes.
Well, on the upside, that gives enough time for you guys to sort out our exit.
Already on it. I was expecting
And-
to have to make a rapid exfiltration. Be radioed ahead.
Yeah, and if nothing else, to get Shahad across.
And about this point, the speakers make 2 loud clicks, and then a voice you've never heard before, again a female voice, starts talking. She starts with something that is familiar to you. The first words to come out of the speakers are: "Go forth and find the seed of the icons, the flower of heaven." She then proceeds to start talking about the emirate of... forgotten its name again.
Hannah.
Yemeni. Yehenna, sorry, not Yemeni.
Yehenna,
Somewhere
yeah.
else altogether.
About the emirate of Yehenna. She starts by describing gardens in the plains, watered by the emir's mighty wells. Then she starts talking about the plants beginning to die, the wells drying up. it fairly quickly becomes obvious that what she is telling whoever this is the story of how this research station came to be.
Does it
This
sound
is going to take a
recorded?
while. So, what do you want to do? Are you listening, or are you doing things, or are you doing things while listening? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a problem.
I think
You can do
everybody
that.
just simultaneously hit the red button.
As far as prepping goes, we've already radioed ahead for the engineer on the ship to prep the bucky cable and a helmet. Given that we've got an hour to wait, I'm considering. I will ask for the bucky cable to come across and the helmet so that that's already here.
Okay.
Because if it starts to go bad, we can detach the bucky cable and be out very, very quickly.
I'm thinking about sending Shahab back to the ship.
So it takes about 15 minutes for the entire story to come across the.
What I'm doing while listening, by the way, is I am looking. I am keeping my eyes specifically on the entrance to engineering, the lift shaft. Just on the off chance.
Shahad, you managed to talk Zainab out of a very tricky situation. You have a way with words. Do you reckon you could ask whoever that is over the speakers to keep going? Tell us more of the story. Tell us more of what's going on. More about the station. More about its people.
Tell me more, tell me more.
It'll give me a minute to kind of get it myself.
We're assuming it's not a recording.
I am assuming it's not a recording.
Yeah.
I'm going to shuffle. My character is going to shuffle back a little bit where there are more plants. Basically, I need a bigger audience.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's not difficult finding a place with more plants.
Because we are currently we were stationed last now at the exit of the station, our exit of the station. So yes, I've got to shuffle back where more lianas are there. I don't know. They strike me as listening posts. It's like microphones hanging from the ceiling. So.
Well, I mean, they're sort of free hanging. They're not attached to things, so they'd vibrate more in the sound. It could well be that they function in some way like ears.
Yeah, and here I'm gonna use my nice guy voice, other than when I speak with my captain. Yeah, to talk it and to keep going.
Okay.
Because they find somebody very interested in me.
Yeah.
To hear all of it, every detail they can give me, because I am intrigued. And I like the rhythm of the voice, which is talking to me.
Make me a manipulation roll.
I shall. There you go.
One success.
Better than none.
Okay, so I assume that while she's talking anyway, you're going to let her talk, and when the story begins to wind down, that's when you start encouraging the mysterious voice to say more, yeah? Okay. So, as you start talking, there is a momentary hush, and then, you must help me. The seed must be returned.
But where was it taken from?
Okay, well, since you succeeded on your manipulation check, I will actually give you an answer to that.
Well done. You're having a chat with the
I
plant.
really should have printed this out. It's so much easier than reading it on TV.
Yeah, and it's talking back to me.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yep. Panic.
5 mind points to
There
go.
we go. The seed was found in the mines of Salamanx. We brought it here to cultivate it, to grow it, to save the emirate. We must return. We must save Gehenna. You must help me.
Who wants to be the one to break it to her?
We can return them to Gehenna.
Fair enough.
You need to stop what you're doing.
We'll return
Uh-huh.
you to Gehenna.
Okay, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. You can't do that today.
If you stop, I'll give you Dahil Jabba.
Over. You said it was dead. Mouthed at Tash.
I thought he was.
Well, did you see him die?
No.
Give me strength.
I thought he was dead. I thought they were all dead.
Shahad, get ahead to prove he's alive.
Okay, so I'm replying to the weird audio coming at me from everywhere. First of all, returning them to the minds of XYZ place is difficult with a whole space station. If it's seedlings we need to transport, then it need to be compact enough to be transported. We can't fly the station. It's not to be flown. And
No.
then I'd appreciate if our Dahil Jabba would be able to speak up and make himself known to us.
There isn't a microphone where he is. I can guide you to him, but you need to stop what you're doing. The growth must live. We must take it to Gehenna.
You are a little bit late on this.
Fish,
Yes.
being a pilot, I don't have a specific navigation skill. Does that come under pilot?
Yeah, I think it probably would. This is a
So
Yeah,
would I
it
have
is.
sufficient
low number of skills. This is.
astrogation to work out that the way this is drifting actually is towards the Emirates?
Ooh.
It's
Well, we did make our calculations when we came here, so
Did.
it is, if anything, drifting away from. Everything that you know about this station indicates that its original location was far, far closer to Dabaran, and you've now found it out on the edge of the system, far away from where it should be. There's imperceptible amounts of movement on it at the moment, but it makes sense that it has taken this 100 years, essentially, to having left its original station to drift out, and is continuing on that same route out towards the outskirts of the system, and eventually out into the dark between the stars, if left to its own devices, which is entirely the wrong direction for going back to Dabaran and the Emirate.
I'm going to risk interjecting here because I'm not a talky one. I'm a techie one. Quick, prayer to I presume conversation would be the messenger. So a quick
Yeah.
unspoken prayer to whoever does conversation. All right, listen up. You may have noticed that you're drifting the wrong way. This is a space station, not a ship. The only way we are getting this big hunk of metal back to where you want it to be is to direct jets of propulsion in a certain direction to get it going at a rate that you need to get it back to where, because you're on a timeline, we know this, but we need a big burst. So you need to let us continue what we're doing if you want to have a hope in hell of getting back to save the Emirates. Do you get me?
The station doesn't need to go. Only the growth.
The growth is on the station. The station goes.
Unless you wanted to give us a seed.
But the ship.
Do you have offspring we
The
can
ship
transport?
has a garden.
It's on top of everything.
Yeah,
we
the
have
ship's
no
kinda
way to
tough.
get through.
The ship is tough to get to because you've blocked the way. So we're doing the best we can with what you've given us.
But
We've
your
tried to
ship,
be nice about things.
The growth can go on your ship. You can take
We
us
don't
to
have a garden.
Gehenna.
We don't have a garden.
No,
I
the growth
see
really
your
can't
garden.
go on our ship.
I
No.
see it from here.
What?
It shines in the night.
Sorry, left
Hang
my
on.
bedroom lamp on.
That's just my ego you're looking at.
You do, unfortunately, parked outside here, have a ship with an arboretum dome on the top.
Oh God, does it?
This thing can see outside. It can
Mhm.
see that you have indeed got essentially a garden.
I didn't realise we did.
Yeah, you
I
have.
forgot.
Yeah. Let me
Whoops.
just
It's her fault. But I do like to meditate there.
share the
Of course, yes.
Nazalis plans. You have access to that anyway, but if I share it there, then I can bring it up for the viewers to see. There it is. There is an arboretum dome on top of the scarab class.
Do I need to go through their comms, through Shahad's comms, or can I speak to the plant directly? Because there's growth down here as well.
You don't know. You'd have to try it and see.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
The whole growth is not going to fit in our garden. A seed might. And as soon as Tash takes a breath to start objecting, because I just know she will, I'm just going,
You have so little understanding of biology.
oh, I think
The
I have
growth is
plenty.
more than you imagine. So much more. It can exist in many places, at many times. The growth can go with you. And
Whack.
yet remain here.
Good.
Of course, I will have to come with you. I will need to supervise, to oversee
see.
what is happening.
From where I am, I've got access to a whole bunch of stuff. I've basically got access to the whole system, right?
Yeah.
If I shut down a bunch of systems, that'll increase the speed at which the power's being generated because there's less drawing on it, right?
Yeah, potentially.
Okay.
Turn off the microwave. And the dishwasher.
Don't turn on the microwave, but put some tin foil in it.
The boom.
Yes. Turn off the fridges.
I want to turn off everything but life support.
If you want to come with us,
They've got lights.
then you need to show yourself.
So when you say everything but life support, is that including gravity?
Gravity's already off.
Not
No,
yet.
it's not,
is
It
is
it?
isn't already off. They've
Yeah.
only got a way of
They've got a 50-minute
temporarily
window.
disabling gravity,
Yeah.
but you now have access to all the systems,
Yeah.
so you can actually just
Gravity.
shut it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That will require a technology roll. No idea what I'm going to do if you fail it, because I can't, off the top of my head, think of a good negative effect, but it will require a technology roll.
Which means I am going to fail it.
Suddenly 6 times gravity.
Just to force me to actually do something. I was thinking maybe twice, but...
Fixated on the die roller now. Yay! No!
Oh,
Oh, come
not
on!
Not a single 6.
Knight, what did you do to the bloody dice?
7, 14. Is that 21 dice?
Yeah, 21 dice.
Dear.
At the
That
risk of killing
is-
us all, I'm going to give Fishy a darkness point.
The darkness.
Go
point.
for it.
I'm going to see if I can make it 28.
Go on,
Go
you can
on.
do it. I have faith in you.
Oh,
You
hello.
blew it. You got
There
a six.
we
You got 2 sixes.
go.
in
Two
fact.
sixes, yes.
Ah, you messed that one up good and proper. You didn't.
Do I want to
manage
give
it.
him another one and go for 3 6s?
What were... No.
Okay.
Well,
On the whole...
A third
On the
six,
other hand-
of course, would be a critical
Critical success. Exactly.
2 successes. 2 sixes is just a success.
Yeah, but
That gives you 5
excuse me,
dice.
if he re-rolls now and the new outcome is worse than the previous one,
No, I can re-roll the non-6s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he can choose to keep any of the dice that he wants to
So I'll
keep.
be
and
rolling
re-roll
5
the
dice,
rest, so he
hoping
can
for
a
keep the 2 sixes.
oh,
I
go
mean,
for
based
it,
on
do
the-
that anyway.
Based on the
Yeah,
numbers so
we're
far,
stuffed.
there's absolutely no way in hell you'd be able to get this. And
So
officially, although I said otherwise in the first session, officially you can only re-roll once
okay.
per roll.
Hmm.
I'd forgotten that bit.
However, if you really want to, I'm willing to allow it in this situation because this is kind of cool, going from nothing to your chance of getting a critical if you make it.
Bring it.
Do I have a green light from both the other players?
Go for it.
Yeah.
We're screwed anyway. He's got enough to send an entire battle
No.
at us.
And no, unfortunately not.
Damn.
I do, however, have a full house.
Gosh,
3 2s
what
and
a
2
lot of-
3s.
Well, yeah.
That was not the goal.
No. No, for
Everyone
Deadlands,
now,
that's
look at
great.
that.
But
Okay,
how many have
so-
you got?
7. I've got 7.
7.
And I've given you most of those.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I'm not going to tell you what for, but I will tell you that I am immediately spending 3 of those.
Oh, that makes me feel so
Right.
much better. On the upside,
So as everything goes
got
down,
4.
didn't want to give you any warning.
Okay.
Rather, didn't want to give them any warning.
Everything except life support is off. Now what?
Okay. Gripping onto the nearest solid object that isn't plant.
How fast is the power building up now?
It is now building up faster. You had about 35 minutes to go. It's now going to hit in 20.
Great.
Are there any batteries, any storage systems that I can divert power from to shunt it straight into it?
No, I think that's probably as good as you're going to be able to get now.
Okay.
But you need 15 of that.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you don't need 15 of that.
No,
15
you need
was-
No.
12.
You need.
So I've got 8 minutes to waste.
I don't believe that the professor is alive.
I mean, you've got a new time scale, and you're no longer worrying about the gravity generator, which does mean you can set the charges, the timers on the charges, and
Yeah.
head out now. You
Yeah.
know it'll go up. You know when it'll go up. You can be
Yeah.
long gone if you want to by that point, provided
Yeah.
that you don't think that plant monsters are going to come and remove your charges.
Yeah,
Over
this
the
is
comms only,
Yeah,
18 minutes.
noted. Okay. Is there any way of setting the charges both with a timer and with a tamper switch? Can Tash improvise a tamper
No.
switch?
I'm going to say no. That
Okay.
would be a technology to improvise one rather than just switch one on. That would be a
Yeah.
technology roll which she doesn't have, and she'd also need some equipment which she doesn't have.
Okie dokie.
And she can't hear us anymore because she's on her own and isn't linked to our comms.
No.
She can only hear Zeynep, who is stood with her.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Um,
thought they separated for setting the
no.
charges and one stays with the generator.
In the room, same room though.
Oh, still.
The charge
sorry,
is just
my
on the
bad.
2 main inputs for the
I
generator.
thought we
Yeah.
split the party again and Tasha's now gonna die because 3 darkness points and...
The basic idea is that just before the power unit overloads, it basically just sucks in a load of air rather than power feed. So you've got it's like injecting air into the bloodstream. It creates a heart attack because you've just got nothing for the heart to beat against.
Mm.
Is my rough
Yeah.
assumption of how it was
That
described.
seems reasonable, yes. Not a
Yeah.
bad description.
Are we playing chicken with the giant sentient plant? Just asking.
I'm out of game, not sure. Oh,
I really
when
don't
two
know.
cars try and
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly that. Why I'm asking her
Yeah.
to come forth, so I can shoot her in the face.
Since this is not a game, according to the way the system works, in which I can give you like an idea check, like I could in Call of Cthulhu, I'm just instead going to point out to you the fact that the voice you were speaking to seemed to consider itself separate from the growth.
Oh, it's not speaking in a we; it's speaking in an I.
It was
18
saying that the
minutes.
growth needed to
Yeah.
survive and that the growth needed to go to the Emirates, and then it also said, I will need to come. I will need to
Supervise.
supervise.
Okay. Right. Vash?
But you can't interrogate it anymore because you've turned off the speakers.
Yeah, I know. Which is fine by me because it's also turned off any microphones. Although it presumably can hear through the plants, but
Yeah.
I'm going to. No, I can just talk to Vash, to Tash quite quietly. Set the charges, and I'll give for the updated time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, if you have anything, please leap in.
No, because it will amend the time and nothing works at that point.
Okay, that's our new limit. I'm going to see if I can arrange an introduction. But I'm going to do it
Right.
of me to whoever was just talking. Because if
Shihad?
nothing else, that'll keep her out of our hair. Do not be a hero. When you need to make it to the airlock by the go time, or we'll have to leave you.
We made it to the airlock. We're doing all this from the
Yeah.
airlock.
I'm talking to Tash.
Ah.
Oh, okay. Oh, relaxing.
I think that they will try and interfere with the charges.
I forgot the gloves.
Balloon hands. I think they'll try and interfere with the charges if we leave it alone.
Sinks a chronograph built into her suit with the countdown on the charges that she's just set, and then holds it up to show you that she has got
A watch.
Yeah.
a timer.
Zainab, has she got any gloves?
Do you have any gloves
Yes.
on you?
Yeah.
Good. We have a helmet. She does. Over the comms.
That's a relief.
Wait a minute. A helmet. You're not docked.
Oh no, this is going to be EVA.
Great.
It's okay. We've got baby reins.
You could have mentioned this sooner.
I didn't want to worry you. You looked stressed already.
Right, I shall take the time, given that I've got a few minutes, to refuel my EVA boosters.
Tash draws a device from her belt and activates it, and there is a sort of a swirling flash, and suddenly she's holding a sword.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's a, hang on, what are they called? Mercurial or something like that sword, which, if I'm remembering it correctly, is essentially it's liquid metal. It sort of
Oh,
goes out into the center of the
funky.
sword, then solidifies and shrinks back down again when you turn it off. So it's not a lightsaber, but it has very similar function to a lightsaber in that respect.
I'm having a gun sword moment now.
And she positions herself near the charges with her rifle in one hand, sword in the other, looking around for.
Right.
But she's put her gloves on as well by this point.
Yeah.
Looking around for any plant monsters.
Okay.
I'm
So
set.
she can
Do
be
what
the
you have
light.
to do.
Right. I'm going to try and distract the thing. I'm going to make my way up towards the airlock. Because that's where I need to be, and I'm slower in 0G than she will be, I suspect.
Okay.
I'm going to radio back to our ship.
Mm-hmm.
And tell her he might not be a techie, but he to prepare the medical bay, so that we can host our new guest there. And if he finds any means of sedating somebody quickly, then he can go for it and prepare.
Shahad, go deliver the message
Okay.
yourself. There's nothing more you can do here.
Yeah.
Get to safety.
Okay.
Clear out.
Right. Okay, so as you approach the bottom of the lift shaft to zip back up,
Mm-hmm.
and as you head to the airlock, back to the airlock to get out, you are both blocked in your route, as in each location 2 plant men step into view ahead of you. And at that point, though it is slightly early, I am going to call it for today, because we've not run any combat in this game. I don't want to do it at the end of a session without knowing how long we're going to be going for.
Yeah, where you started
So-
knackered.
Yeah, I'll apologise in advance if it's a short session next time, because we just have a quick fight and you get off the station and blow it up.
Or we die.
Yeah.
But I would rather take the risk of a short session next time than just completely fluff this, because I am quite tired. So, that is where we shall leave it
Okay.
today.